What's going on, guys? Moniz here, and right in front of me I have the Sony Xperia XZ2 Premium. I've been dying to get my hands on this smartphone for a couple of reasons. First and foremost, Sony's done a fantastic job with their smartphone lineup this year. Secondly, this is the first Sony device to come on the market that has dual lenses. It also happens to be one of the only smartphones you can buy that has an ISO level of 12,800. That means you should be able to get great low light photography, at least in theory. Now, before I jump in the box, let's just quickly go over the specs. This has a 19 megapixel sensor on the back, so the exact same one on the XZ2 and XZ2 Compact. It also has a second 12 megapixel monochrome sensor, so very similar to the Huawei P20 or P20 Pro. You also have that 4K HDR display, which only works when you're watching 4K content, so battery life is not going to drain quickly. It also shoots in 4K HDR, and if you've seen my XZ2 review, you know how good that HDR content looks. It has a 3540 milliamp battery, which should give this phone some pretty good battery life, a Snapdragon 845, and of course 6 gigabytes of RAM. This is 2 more than the XZ Compact and regular XZ2. Now, of course, just like the other devices, at least the XZ2, you do get wireless charging. You also have the ability to have IP68 water resistance. So if you accidentally drop it in a pool or in a puddle, it's not going to get damaged on you. All right, enough of that. Here it is in all of its glory. And I have to say, based on first impressions and first looks, this phone is big. 5.8 inches big, but based on me holding this device right now, it feels more like 6.2 inches. Like, imagine a bigger iPhone 8 Plus. Now, before I do this plastic, let's quickly go in the box. Got a Sony charger. This is finally an adapter for quick charging. You have your adapter since this phone does not include a headphone jack. Of course, you have your papers for instructions, and of course, your charging cable. Now, to give you guys some context on how big this device is, I'm gonna place it right beside the Sony Xperia XZ2, which is a 5.7 inch device, and the Sony Xperia XZ2 Compact. You can see right here the difference in size, and the XZ2 in general is a bigger 5.7 inch device. Now, if I put the Huawei P20 Pro, which is a 6 inch device beside it, you can see how wide this phone is. All right, moment of silence for the plastic. Ah, damn, that sounded good. And wow, this phone is shiny. Now, the fingerprint scanner placement is very similar to the XZ2, so it's not in the best position. So when you grab the phone on the back, most of the time, your finger's gonna gravitate towards the bottom camera sensor, so expect some fingerprints. So you're gonna have to make a mental note or just get used to bending your fingerprint a little bit in order to get to the sensor. It's weird because they did the same thing on the XZ2, but with the XZ2 Compact, the fingerprint scanner is actually in the perfect location. Now, besides that, it's pretty much just a bigger version in terms of looks of the regular XZ2. You have your SIM tray on the top, which I love because you don't need a pin to get into it. You simply just put your fingers inside and you can pull it out. You have your volume rocker on the top, your power button, and of course, in typical Sony fashion, you have that awesome dedicated camera button. I love this feature. I wish every single phone had it. A lot more useful than a Bixby button. Now, the biggest difference is that you're not gonna get that typical 18:9 resolution like you do on the other devices. You're gonna get 16:9, which means you're gonna get more horizontal screen space. And that's why the device feels so big in the hand. The reason why a lot of manufacturers are going for 18:9 is because the screen stretches vertically as opposed to horizontally, making it a lot easier to hold in the hand. Now, here's the thing about the 4K display. It's not gonna stay in 4K when you're doing regular things like moving around the device itself. It only upscales to 4K when it detects 4K content. So if you're watching YouTube, for example, or Netflix, and it detects 4K, it's gonna upscale it. The software, it's running Android 8.0, so exactly the same as all the other two devices that they've released this year. Besides that, not much is different in terms of software. You can expect the same features. You're gonna have that vibration mode, dynamic vibration that the XZ2 has. But the most interesting thing about this device has to be the camera. Let's just do a quick front-facing camera test. It's not as quick as, let's say, the Samsung Galaxy S9 or S9 Plus to take a picture, but I'm more curious to exactly how the picture looks when it's compared to other smartphones. And you still have those awesome dual speakers on the front of the device that will give you exceptional sound. Anyways, that wraps up my first initial impressions of the Sony Xperia XZ2 Premium. It is a big device packed with a lot of awesome features, and I can't wait to test them. Now, if you have any questions whatsoever on this device, let me know in the comments below. I will make sure to bring it up in my full review, or if you can't wait, follow me or join my Discord server. I'll be happy to answer your questions there. So that pretty much wraps up this quick unboxing of the Sony Xperia XZ2 Premium. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one.